Merhaba arkadaşlar, ben Deniz Yıldırım. Blacksad oyunumuza kaldığımız yerden devam ediyor arkadaşlar. Maymun çekil arkadaşlar, buraya geldik. Burada belli şeyler burada arkadaşlar. Önce gözden geçirelim. Ne var ne yok bakalım. Burada bir yazı varmış. Hmm. Yazı güzel. Arkasından arkadaşlar şuralara bakalım. Şurada bir pencere var. Pencerede ne varmış?
A bit too high to climb. If the basement I'm looking for were in that building.
Evet. Pencerede böyle arkadaşlar. Şimdi çıkalım arkadaşlar hızlıca. Burada da bir şey varmış.
Could it be an elevator shaft? How does this thing open?
Evet. Bu neymiş?
If only I could reach that box.
Evet. Şu köprüsünü arkadaşlar çekiyoruz. Ama gücümüz yetmiyor galiba diye düşünüyorum, evet. Gücümüz yetmiyor arkadaşlar. O yüzden hemen maymundan yardım isteyeceğiz. Şurada da bir şey varmış. Yani bir tane daha bulduk. Bir ipucu ve maymuna geldik. Maymun.
What happened? Should we run for it?
Do I look like I'm in a hurry? There's a trap door on the ground, right by the restaurant. Does that sound familiar?
Huh? The restaurant or the trapdoor?
Okay. Forget it.
Are you done?
What do you think? I need your brute force, Jake.
What's wrong? Is the little kitten too,
And your silence.
Evet, yardım istiyor arkadaşlar. Ve A'ya basıyor. Biraz daha basmam lazım. Hızlıca alacağına. Evet, basıyorum. Gel. Geldi mi arkadaş ya? O ne ya? Yani kapı. Bunu açmamız lazım arkadaşlar. Bu biraz aman alır sanki. Bunu yapamıyoruz arkadaşlar ya. Hadi. Yanlış düğmeye bastım. Onu da şöyle yapsam. İki sağ olmadı be. Hadi be. Açıldı. Hadi arkadaş. Ve arkadaşlar şöyle deneyeceğim. Kolları hızlı. Şimdi oldu arkadaşlar. Evet arkadaşlar. Aman aldık. Ama açtık. Evet şimdi aşağı inmemiz lazım. Evet iniyoruz.
There are questions we only ask ourselves when it's far too late.
Evet devam ediyoruz arkadaşlar. Evet yeni bir ipucu daha bulduk. Burada ne yapacağız? Bu arada şey diyor. Evet, aldık bulacağımızı. Böyle çıkmamız lazım. Aa buldum. Bir tane daha. Yukarı çıkamıyoruz. Buldum arkadaşlar. Arkadaş, iyi bulduk. Ne yapacağız burada? Bir söylesin. Evet.
Not now! Some answers only come to you when it's far too late.
Who's there?
Evet, yakalandık. Bir daha yapıyoruz arkadaşlar. Şimdi, ilk bunu bulduk. Alalım. Şuraya iyice bakalım. Evet. Bunu da bulduk. Evet. Başka düğmeler var. Burası var. Yerine şeyler bakalım. Bilgisayar açık duruyor ya. Evet, kalkıyor arkadaşlar.
Oh, no, no, no, no, no, not now! Some answers only come to you when it's far too late.
Who's there?
Hmm. Evet. Birleşti arkadaşlar. Gördüğünüz üzere. Düşünelim. Doktor. Bir tane daha. Evet.
Huh. That lizard isn't Yale's doctor.
Bir kere daha düşün. Pardon buraya. İlgisi yok ya. Neyse buldur arkadaşlar. Ha, buldum. Evet, fener bulduk arkadaşlar. Bakalım ne varmış. Kapı.
I was expecting some frozen bodies. It won't budge.
Açamadık. Bunu da yerleştirelim. Aç onu. Hayır o değil.
There's one on each table, except this one.
Football. Okay. Basketball. Box. New York. Chicago.
Does O'Leary have a network of pals? The odds are incredibly in Stone's favor. I guess that he's the reigning champion, and Bobby Yale is just a contender, but maybe word got out about his condition.
Yerleştirelim kitabı arkadaşlar.
Wow. I didn't realize you could place so many bets on a single baseball game. It looks like a summary of all the bets that come in. Day, amount, bet, wagerer. Wait a minute. Did O'Leary himself bet $5,000 on Yale? A little thingamajig that adds on its own. What'll they think of next? Sometimes I forget that criminals, even the office variety, have family and kids. Anyway, maybe things aren't so bad on the dark side. 16 days until the fight.
Evet, bir kez daha düşünüyorum arkadaşlar. Farklı bir şey. Burada bir şey yok. O zaman şu yapayım. Şifre. Pasaport Wild Berries'miş. İyi yazdık onları. Kazanış şiddeti var olması lazım. Buraya bakalım.
Could that be Ireland? painting concealed file after file of celebrity reports with all sorts of shady information, ranging from S to Z. Almost all of them were athletes. Is that what O'Leary meant when he said that detectives and police officers were his friends? I wonder how many spy for him. If I were to pitch in, who would I spy on? Thorpe had been a rising football star before the war, which he came back from with honors and decorations. After the truce, he resumed his career. He won 3 season trophies and a couple of MVP awards. He retired after an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. He started his own sports advertising agency 4 years ago, but according to the files, O'Leary hadn't even tried to corrupt him.
Dosyaları bulduk arkadaşlar. Onlara bakıyoruz.
In Bobby Yale's folder, all I found was a log of his incredible stats as an aspiring champion. 20 victories, 16 by knockout. Although, at the end of the report, someone had underlined one word several times. Untouchable.
Ve son gören arkadaşlar sustum olamam.
According to Stone's report, he was so clean, not to mention hard to corrupt, that O'Leary opted for a more subtle strategy. Apparently, when he broke up with the tennis player Helen Moore, he set her up with Stone. Lucky for him, they hit it off. As I put away the report, I stopped in my tracks. Did I really want to risk knowing what O'Leary had on my good friend, the incorruptible police commissioner? To be honest, if Smirnov had anything to hide, I'd rather not know about it.
Evet.
Limited edition copy 2 of 3. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance. Your eyes act like the moon. If they're not together anymore, why does O'Leary keep so many pictures of romantic moments with Helen Moore?
Bakalım. Düşünelim arkadaşlar. Hangi kanıtlar var? Ne olabilir arkadaşlar? Bu olabilir mi? Mary şu olabilir.
Luckily or not, files in through R included no one that I could somehow connect to the case. I'd say that's Ireland too.
Balıklarda bir şey yok.
Dunn's integrity was legendary, even in O'Leary's shady reports, just like Yale had said. Dunn had kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym when he found him snooping around. Cassidy's report was possibly the longest among all of O'Leary's files. Apparently, their rivalry went way back, so much so that they spied on each other in the most unthinkable ways. At least I was able to confirm what Yale had told me. Cassidy had threatened Dunn after he refused to join the managers' union. The report on Yale's father was the shortest of all, since only his name was left. Why? Ireland, of course. This guy's obsessed.
Evet.
A Crossler? The good news is, I don't need lockpicks to open it. The bad news,
Şimdi
I didn't bring explosives.
kasanın şifresini bulduk arkadaşlar. İnşallah diyecektim ki şifre yararlı. Her neyse aşağıda bir şey var arkadaşlar, o ne?
Even Dunn had a gun in his office. O'Leary couldn't possibly be the exception.
Şifreler bulduk arkadaşlar. Alttan almış.
Dunn had $200 in
Merhaba
his safe.
arkadaşlar.
O'Leary had about 20,000 in a drawer.
Buradan geçemiyor muyuz ya? Ne oldu? Hadi. Geçmiyor buradan. Hadi geçsene. O zaman şöyle düşünelim. Geçtim arkadaşlar. Balıklarda bir şey yok. Akvaryum. Akvaryum sadece. Buradan bir çıkalım. Buralara bakmış mıydık? Evet bakmıştık. Şuna bir daha bakalım diyeceğim. Burada da bir şey yok zaten. Şuradan geçelim. Bir kapı var arkadaşlar. Kapıdan mı geldik? Evet. Herhalde.
I hope I never become the object of O'Leary's obsession.
Çekil bakalım.
Strange as it may seem, the reports revealed that O'Leary had hired Jake as a bodyguard precisely because he was absolutely clean. Apparently, he liked to surround himself with honest people when he mingled with the high society. Helen Moore's file was, by far, one of the juiciest. She had been just a run-of-the-mill tennis player until O'Leary launched her career by rigging enough games to help her climb the ranking. However, O'Leary hadn't fixed any of her games in over a year. In spite of that, she remained undefeated. Be as it may, it was clear that O'Leary had enough information to ruin her career.
Evet. Helen de yaptı arkadaşlar. Şimdi alakası var? Neyse. Bir bulamadık arkadaşlar burayı. Bakalım. Şuralarda bir şeyler var mı? Evet. Burada arkadaşlar. Ve sanmaya başladı.
Jake,
Telefon.
someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night.
Atladım. Buldum.
Jake, someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy?
Evet, biri geliyor arkadaşlar. Hemen
Here it is, middle of the night.
bastım. Geçtim. Aa, yanlış yere gittim. Lanet olsun.
Jake, someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night.
Aa, saklandım ben.
And we're working extra hours.
Evet.
Hey, Jimmy, what do you think about that?
I think he's scared stiff, Desmond.
Why's that, Jimmy? We're giving you the red carpet treatment. We even let you in the boss's office.
You're one lucky fellow.
You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Speak, you moron.
yeah, very well. Why are you...
Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
And tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
Burada.
Please. I didn't do anything. I swear.
O'Leary, the police have surrounded the...
You don't need to worry about that.
Sınırım buldum arkadaşlar. B'ye basıyorum.
You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Speak, you moron.
yeah, very well. Why are you...
Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
And tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
Please. I didn't do anything. I swear.
He was a good guy. Of course, you already knew that. You knew him better than me, right?
He was my cousin.
That's why I hired you, Jimmy. You see, Martin was a dear friend. And his widow said you were a nice kid. That you do a good job and you needed the money. And I have a soft spot for those in need.
Please.
But, you know what? I talked to her just yesterday. She told us you did some naughty things to her with that gun, Jimmy.
No.
That's no way to treat a widow, is it?
She's lying. Why would I do that?
What about the kid? Are you so sure you know how long a kid can hold his breath? With his little head inside a toilet bowl?
Son of a bitch.
I didn't want to. It was his idea.
Selfishly, I was glad I hadn't risked my life to save Jimmy. Maybe not even someone like him deserves to die. But one could also argue that I didn't deserve to die for someone like him.
Who's your boss? Give me a name!
Cassidy, it was his idea. He said you'd hired me if I'd managed to scare the widow, and I just...
All right. Let's just calm down now. Okay? It's gonna be okay. There are two sacred principles that rule my life. The first principle is the love for my family. I do anything to protect them. The second principle, I never put my future in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I would even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two crucial principles, I take matters into my own hands. You see where this is going? For the first time, I got someone killed, even though all I really did was rat him out.
No, I just...
Stop interrupting me, Jimmy! It's not polite! You're all the same. So rude! You know what? Let's leave it at that. You're going to give a message to that disgusting walrus Cassidy, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Yeah, sure.
Good boy.
What's the message?
Aw, Jimmy. You still don't get it, do you? You are the message.
Hayır, öldürmeyin.
Come on. Wrap him up. Make sure Cassidy gets the message for breakfast, will you? I hope he chugs on it.
Got it.
Where are you hiding, little fishy? Once again, you didn't get to hear the end of my story.
Evet arkadaşlar, evden çıkıyoruz ama dışarıda bizi bekleyenler var. Melih'li atak. Bulduk arkadaşlar, her zamanki gibi. Bakalım. Saklanalım bence.
Pussycat!
Lan bu sefer de götümüzden aldık.
What? Just where do you think you're going, putty cat?
Two sacred principles rule my life.
Yakalandık arkadaşlar.
The first is the love I feel for my family. The second, never leave destiny in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I'd even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two principles, I take matters into my own hands. The first time that someone died because of me, even though all I did was rat him out, well, that guy ended up in the Hudson River, right off Pier 27. He's got to be even wetter than that fish by now. You should have seen his face.
It's interesting what comes to mind when you think you're about to die. Suddenly all I could think about was how much I wanted a pet fish.
You too, Bruce? Anyway, I was 14 years old, and I still dream about him, about his widow and his son.
By then, I was adamant about buying a fish. But first,
That was that. Never again. Nowadays, whether it's me who pulls the trigger or not, I have zero regrets. What's more, I sort of enjoy it.
Hemen gözlemliyorum.
in case anyone had any doubts about who's the boss around here, I'll put my dirty feet on his luxurious table to prove that all of this is mine. His pupils are dilated, and there's a slight grin on his face. The bastard is enjoying himself. The guy never hesitates to pull the trigger. Even if I hadn't seen what he did to Jimmy, I'd know he's not bluffing. When a mob boss declares his love of family, it can only mean that A, he won't hesitate to ruin yours, and B, he's cheating on his wife. I knew I had it in me to get out of that place alive.
Evet, düşünelim arkadaşlar. Düşünelim. Olmaz. Burada bir ilgi yok. Bu birini aradı. Kim o? Pardon, o değil. Onun da yok.
No. O'Leary's wife is having an affair with Colbert? Should I serve this to O'Leary on a silver platter? Or threaten Colbert so he'll get me out of this mess?
And, well, that's it, I think. You know, Blacksad, I never made it this far. Congratulations, you're going in style.
I didn't want to interrupt you because I respect you and your word, but I'm actually here to help. Your wife is having an affair with Colbert.
What? Me? No way.
Well, here's the thing. I don't respect your word. And since you brought me no proof...
Check my coat pocket on the right.
Evet, resmi buldu arkadaşlar.
Oh, Blacksad, Blacksad, Blacksad. Oops. Thank you very much.
Ben de adamı vurdum.
And sorry for jumping to conclusions. First, you get a random beating from my men. And here we are. When you shared what you'd found in Yale's apartment, well, it made me sort of want to trust you. But as you well know, you can't trust anyone in this world. Take it. It's only fair.
I want to bet it all on the fight, on Sonia Dunn's behalf.
Oh, what a romantic you are. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance.
The word you're looking for is feel.
Same difference. Anyway, go ahead. Place your bet.
I bet it all on Yale.
Oh, Blacksad. Aren't these odd hours to pay me a visit? Your message was important, but certainly not urgent. It could have waited until tomorrow, don't you think?
We cats and wolves hunt at night.
Evet arkadaşlar, çok güzel bir bölümdü. Eğlenceliydi. Bakalım şimdi ne olacak.
I wish I was a noir fiction writer. At this very moment, I could write a couple of pointed, ironic remarks for the narrator to recount what I just lived through. The dark, crooked alleys of New York reminded me of the state of my own soul. No. Fall loomed over me with the... Fall struck me with the full force of my long-lost youth. Nah, not that. Fall descended over me with the full weight of a guilty conscience. God, that's worse.
What were you thinking? He wants him alive!
Evet.
I felt fall seep through my bones like the pain of a good beating. Mediocre, but appropriate.
Evet arkadaşlar. Yakalandık ve dayak yedik.
Against all odds, next morning I got up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I had my kind, unknown assailants to thank. The beating had taken its toll, but for the first time in months, I had slept like a baby.
Oh, come on, Helen, focus! All right, take 5. We'll work on that double backhand later.
FBI'den geldi.
Well, Mr. Blackmore, what can I do for the FBI?
Cooperate with law enforcement. All you have to do is talk.
I like to speak through my actions, but still, could you be more specific?
Maybe if we could speak in private?
Alec!
Coming!
You've got 4 minutes, Mr. Blackmore, so... make them count.
We're aware of at least 6 rigged games during your first year as a professional player.
And?
You won all of them.
Are you trying to offend me? I give my all on the court. I can't be held accountable if my rivals don't do the same. Go interrogate them.
They say you're currently involved with Al Stone, the boxer. Is that correct?
Wow, the FBI sure knows what it's doing. So, out of the 100 million Americans who know about that, who did you extort to get such highly confidential information?
Don't beat around the bush. We know why you're with him.
Oh, so you like his biceps too?
Desmond O'Leary asked you to seduce Stone. Why?
What? No, I met Al by chance at a party. A party hosted by Desmond O'Leary. No, that can't be. No one is that shrewd. Not even him. Damn, I hate that bastard.
We know about you and Desmond O'Leary.
Wow, your sagacity never ceases to amaze me. Wait, I get it. They must wrap your FBI sandwiches in gossip magazines.
The thing is, well...
You see, I'd love to wipe out that part of my past, but whatever.
Do you have any regrets?
Ads pay more than trophies. Can you believe it? Being associated with such a shady character could only damage my reputation. Trust me, never get involved with a married man. Anyway, at least now I know why you mentioned the rigged games. I can't blame you, Mr. Blackmore. I understand why I seem suspect. Although I doubt the FBI would ever get this involved in a sporting scandal. What do you really have against O'Leary? And please don't say illegal gambling.
O'Leary is a goddamn commie. A full-fledged traitor.
What? Who the hell gave that info to the FBI? The American Clown Association? Even if you knew Desmond just a tiny bit, it doesn't take much to realize he's anything but a commie.
I'm serious, Miss Moore. America can't afford to let anyone shake its foundations like that. And America's sweetheart can't afford it either. Help us out. Talk to us.
And why should I, Mr. Blackmore? What do I stand to gain or lose?
Our country faces drastic problems that require drastic solutions. Do you want to be part of the problem or part of the solution?
This is actually quite simple.
One lucky gal.
You have a light, sir?
The pearly white teeth of someone who barely smokes. Am I making her nervous? Damn. I'm almost out of fluid.
Wanna know my trick? Go down to start, then up with it, and then down again. Don't worry, I'm not making any assumptions about your masculinity. Will I get to smoke today? Will I get to smoke today? Don't worry, I'm not making any assumptions about your masculinity. Almost. Will I get to smoke today? Almost. Will I get to smoke today? Will I get to smoke today? Will I get to smoke today?
Bu R ne ya? Anlamadım.
Almost.
Basıyorum, kabul etmiyorum.
Will I get to smoke today?
Hadi ya. Şeyi 10 kere yapıyorum.
Almost.
Dur ya. Allah yapalım.
Will I get to smoke today?
Şuradan yapalım.
Will I get to smoke today? Don't worry, I'm not making any assumptions about your masculinity.
Yanlış sandım.
Thanks. I don't know what you want me to say. You're trying to frame O'Leary, perhaps rightfully so, but I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Believe me, if I had the slightest...
Come on, Helen. Time to work on your backhand. Let's go.
Do you smoke? Nice meeting you, Mr. Blackmore.
Yaktım bize verdim ben.
Did you bring my water?
Evet. Güzel bir bölümdü. Bakalım şimdi nereye gelmişiz?
America's sweetheart gave you her cigarette? Dear God, she has the hots for you! I can't believe you said good old Weekly to investigate that stupid walrus while you were hanging out with Helen Moore herself! So, what do you say, you and me, we change places next time, huh?
Your turn. Now tell me, what did you find out?
You're gonna love this. You ready? I've got news, but I happen to also have a
Telefon çaldı.
Blacksad,
He's off with that whore, isn't he?
what? Who is... Oh, Mrs. Colbert.
I told him I knew all about it, you know, after our chat. He cried and asked me to forgive him. He said he was gonna leave her, that he loved me, and it was over. But last night he got a phone call. He said he had to work, and he still hasn't come back. Nobody's seen him at work since yesterday evening. He left with her, didn't he? Tell me the truth. I can handle it.
I don't know how to put this, but your husband is dead. He had an affair with his boss's wife. I'm guessing you know who I'm talking about. He found out and killed him. Mrs. Colbert?
Yüzümüze kapattı.
But what just happened? Is there anything you didn't tell me?
Maybe. But now it's your turn. Tell me about Cassidy. Come on, spit it out.
I didn't find anything suggesting that Cassidy had anything to do with Dunn's murder, but
That's quite the tale.
I know Cassidy will be playing poker tonight with one Howard M. Farnham II, a Texas tycoon looking to get his claws on the boxing business. I also know that he and Cassidy have never met in person, and that Farnham, who's staying at the Balford Hotel, hasn't left his room. Apparently, he spent the night with 3 bottles of bourbon. So, here's my incredible plan. I'll go to the hotel, I'd knock him out, and then take his place in the poker game. That way, I'll get Cassidy talking. What do you think? Incredible, right?
Didn't we agree that you would handle Helen Moore while I dealt with Cassidy next time? No?
Evet, bir yere geldik arkadaşlar. Bakalım burası nereymiş? Neymiş burası? Balf Otel bilmiyorum ki. Balf orada yani. Evet, otelmiş arkadaşlar.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farnham.
What's going on?
Allow me to introduce myself. Room service. I've brought the bottles you ordered.
I didn't order me no drinks, and you're not wearing the hotel uniform. Move on, you drunk.
Anladım.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farnham.
What's going on?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm John Blackmore, director of the Balford Hotel. We like to make our distinguished guests feel welcome. Please accept this small token of our appreciation.
Oh, sure. I was fixing to leave, but I guess them monuments ain't going anywhere. Well, come on in then.
Getting in Farnham's room was easy. Earning his trust was another story. But I always have an ace up my sleeve.
Blackmore, you okay, partner?
The best way to earn someone's trust is to make them believe they've earned yours. And sometimes, the best way to fake it is to tell the truth. I don't know where to begin. I accepted money I don't deserve. And now it weighs on my conscience.
Let me tell you something about life and business, son. Our Lord didn't separate his creation into rich and poor just for the fun of it. If a man has the money, that's proof enough he doesn't deserve it. You hear what I'm saying?
One of the tricks of this trade is to be wary of the biases we all have. They cloud our judgment and blur the person in front of us, painting them with the shades of our preconceived notions of who they should be. But every once in a while, you run into someone so locked in personality that they can only be regarded as a stereotype. Farnham was a disgrace, not only to himself, but to Texas and the entire human race. To think I had to impersonate him. I wish I was like you. You seem so content, so free of burdens.
Stop right there, partner. You think this old dog don't have ticks? Let me tell you something about my first wife. Woo-wee!
Once I had gained Farnham's trust, the hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm here to play me some poker.
You got the wrong place, sir. Did you miss the barbershop sign above the door? You have a good evening, sir.
Wait,
Bu da bizi reddetti. Ama içeri
The hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
What can I do for you, sir?
Farnham was one hell of a drinker. I had to get the information out of him before he drank himself unconscious. Otherwise, I'd have to find that information myself.
Evet arkadaşlar, bir bölümün daha sonuna geldik. Bu bölümü burada bitirelim arkadaşlar çünkü çok uzun oldu. Bu bölüm çok uzun oldu. Burada bitirelim arkadaşlar. Diğer bölümde görüşmek üzere diyelim. Abonelerimiz artıyor arkadaşlar. Umarım ilerledikçe daha güzel videolar gelecektir. Gelecek zaten. Bu bölüm bu kadar arkadaşlar. Bir sonraki bölümde görüşmek üzere. Herkese dikkat edin kendinize. Abone olmayı ve bildirimleri açmayı unutmayın arkadaşlar. Görüşmek üzere.